Hello, everyone, and welcome to Girl Time Podcast. I am your host, Lanisha Huggins, and I am so excited about this episode today because I am joined with the beautiful and multi-talented Qiana Clemens, who is a mom, a wife, everything. Today, we'll discuss Qiana's journey into her new role at Ivy Tech Community College and receiving her master's degree during the quarantine and any future plans that she may have, whether it is personal or for her career. So, kind of jumping straight into it, Qiana, I thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited.
Yeah, through all the trials and errors.
It's all good.
In April of this year, you gave a kind of semi goodbye to the Boys and Girls Club and stepped into a new role with Ivy Tech. So, what are your feelings leaving the Boys and Girls Club and starting a new position?
Uh, well, most of the people that know me know I've done youth work for, I'm going to say, almost 20 years. My son's 19. So I started right when he was born in the nonprofit sector. And so it was kind of bittersweet. It was time, I, um, I worked at the Y for a number of years, and I created a program there called Black Achievers that I wanted uh, young Black kids specifically to be able to have people to look up to that look like
Mm-hmm.
them, come from where they come from, and to be able to participate in activities and taking them all over. We went everywhere, all across the United States, really, various things, taking them somewhere so they could see something different. So that's where my love for it kind of started.
Yeah.
In 2014, I became the executive director at the Bewley Community Center, and throughout that process, helped to raise funds to renovate the gym and just renovate it a little bit. And then the opportunity came about to merge the business entities together with the
Mm-hmm.
Boys and Girls Club. So I while I haven't been an official employee of the Boys and Girls Club long, it still felt like 20 years worth, because
Yeah.
all of my kids now, some of them had turned into employees, and
Mm-hmm.
it was kind of bittersweet, but I'm always going to be a part of the club. I still
Yes.
serve there. I still serve on the committees. I still am contacted for a lot of resources regarding especially the Bewley that's in my community. And
Mm-hmm.
so it was kind of bittersweet, and I transitioned into the role of executive director of resource development for the Ivy Tech Foundation,
Mm-hmm.
which the Ivy Tech Foundation supports the students and efforts of the college. So basically, I raise all the money and get resources, money and in kind resources to help facilitate education of students. So that is a similar vein, but just kind of moving on. So
Yeah.
bittersweet, but
Yeah.
I love my job. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. So
Good. Good. I was about to ask you how is your new job and how do you like the role?
yeah. So I started the job the week of the shutdown.
Mm-hmm.
So they basically handed me my computer and was like, here's your job, here's all your paperwork, and this is your job description. Now go home. Basically. So this office is mainly the only thing that I know at this
Mm-hmm.
point. My home office is the only thing that I know really at this point, as far as the office life. I have been up there now to the third floor of the George and Francis Ball Building, which is the new
Mm-hmm.
building.
Yeah.
It's brand spanking new
Mm-hmm.
and nice, and try to get my bearings around. But
Mm-hmm.
the transition has been great. Everybody there is just completely engrossed in helping to make the best for our students. And so I've been welcomed with open arms, and I'm so excited to just be there. Um, I it's a different transit. It's a different thing. Just raising money. Everybody's like, oh, it's a lot to just raise millions of dollars to
Yes,
support students and support the efforts of the college. But um, I'm up for the challenge, so it's good.
that's good. So how was it for you when they gave you your computer and they said go do the work? Was it something that you were used to already, or is it something that you had to learn all over again? Like it's new.
Um, the job title was a little bit scary, and I actually wasn't going to apply for it.
Mm-hmm.
And I got a little bit of encouragement from Dr. Mia Barnes Johnson, who just now is going to be the new interim chancellor for the Anderson
Mm,
campus.
I did see
She
that.
got a promotion, so she's awesome. And a few other friends encouraged me to apply for it because I'm like nobody wants to ask people for money, especially in the
Right.
quarantine. It's like
Yeah.
I'm keeping all this. So it wasn't necessarily something that I was used to, but what I am used to is building relationships with people within the community
Mm,
and utilizing those resources and relationships to make things better and to get money. I have a lot of experience writing grants over the course of the years, and that's a hefty part of my new role, and basically just forging ahead with those relationships. So it made
mm,
it a lot easier to transition into this role and made it a lot more easy to understand versus the job description. You have your
right.
job description and you
Right.
read it and it's like, no, I can't do that.
Right.
I can't do that. And then once somebody takes it and explains it and breaks it down, it's like, oh, I was already doing this.
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
so it's good. It's good.
Yeah. That's good. I was just thinking about the whole job description thing, and just the fact that like when you're actually reading it, especially if it's like an executive position, you just like, okay, wait a minute, I'm not going to apply for this because I don't feel like I'm able to do the work or I'm eligible to do the work. But that's so good that you didn't think that way because you're in this position to where you create a team. And
Yeah.
so it's amazing. I love it.
I did, and I did think it. I did think it, but sometimes you have to do things afraid.
Hmm.
That's a Joyce Myers quote. Do it
Yes.
afraid, and it's a new thing because I've totally the higher education system is totally different. While it is a nonprofit and a similar personal mission of mine to help students,
Hmm.
it's totally it's totally different.
Yes.
It's a totally different animal than a more grassroots type of organization, and more hands-on with students. So I wasn't going to apply, and I didn't at first. It was just like, you know what, I'm going to take a chance, and the worst they could say is no, we don't want
Exactly.
you. We don't want
Exactly.
you. And
Exactly.
then I wouldn't be in any bad position. I always say it's not as bad when you don't hate what you already do.
Hmm.
If you're looking for an opportunity and you don't hate what you already do, I love the club. I love my kids. I loved working in operations. That's what I'm
Hmm.
good at. Um, I got figure things out. I love all that side of things. So the worst they could say is no, keep doing what you've been doing,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
so, and I would still have been happy. So,
That's good. I love that so, so much. You're such an inspiration. Like, I just love it.
thank
Love,
you.
love, love it. So, getting into your new position at Ivy Tech, what was the communication like with your team? And was it challenging or was it just easy to just kind of step in and communicate with them? Because I know that I saw some pictures on Facebook that you did like Zoom calls a whole lot. So, what was ways of communication?
Yeah, it was new for everybody. So, I was the newest employee at the foundation, and so there's two levels. So I work at the campus, and I work for Muncie and Henry County campus,
Mm-hmm.
which is in Newcastle. I haven't even yet. I still haven't been there.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but and then you work for the foundation campus wide office, which we call systems office or central office, and that is in Indianapolis. So you have two sets of team members that you have to learn to get to know.
Mm-hmm.
All the people that are in my comparable positions across the state, plus their teams. And the local team here, I felt way more comfortable because I already knew 99.9% of every
Yeah.
that I would be working with. And so the transition wasn't bad at all. I was embraced and trained, but it was hard to know what you don't know. You know,
Right.
when you have a onboarding schedule and it's like it includes, you know, going through, learn how to use a copy, learn how to use this, learning where things are. Luckily, things are very well organized at the collegiate level as it
Yes.
should be.
Yes.
Where I didn't have that bumpy of a start, and you know my connections helped me to be able to come in and be able to do what I needed to do. When we first started, you know, they had all these COVID relief efforts, like
Mm-hmm.
coronavirus efforts, and we were tasked with raising $50,000 so that it could be matched to turn into $100,000 in support of the students during this time. And that was like my second day. And they were like, well, you have 30 days basically to raise $50,000. And I wouldn't have been able to do that had I not already, you know, flown in those circles
Yeah.
and was able to go ahead and make those asks for
Yeah.
that amount, for those amounts
That's
of
good.
money. So it's been a smooth transition actually,
That's
and
good.
a little scary at times, you know, but especially trying to raise money, like I said, during a pandemic, you know,
Mm-hmm.
everybody's like hoarding, you know, not only not only toilet paper, but you know, but I found, honestly, I have found that people are actually more generous now
Mm-hmm.
than they ever have been to me.
Mm-hmm.
Our community has always been really philanthropic anyway.
Yes.
And so people have been more than generous during this time, even though it may look like, you know, it's a global crisis, and it
Mm-hmm.
is a global crisis. So
That's good because I have definitely seen the community pull together, whether it is giving out food
yep,
or, like you said, with money and stuff
yep.
like that. Just I have really seen that firsthand, and I absolutely love it. I love it. I love it. I love it because it's just like in this time, it's like, oh, should I be scared? Like,
Yeah,
I need to be scared. I need to be in my house and build a fortress under my house. So when this
right,
happened again, but
right.
I've really seen the community pull together, and I love Muncie community
Yeah,
because of that.
same.
So I know that working from home for me will be challenging because I get lazy. Okay. Um, so is it, you have worked in the office and you also now work at home. So is there a challenge working at home, or is it easier?
You know, I like it. I'm an introvert by nature, so
Mm-hmm.
I do well and I recharge by myself. At some things are a little bit more difficult, and you miss, you know, the camaraderie. You know, you
Mm-hmm.
walking down the hall, hey girl, and you know,
Put
stop
your
and
ears
chat
on.
for 10 minutes of your work time.
Yes.
I have found that I'm way more productive at home, it seems like. Um, and that could be just because I had, this is all I know for this
Mm-hmm.
position.
Mm-hmm.
I went into the office the other day and I'm like, I'm going home, you know, and then, you know, I have built, you know, a sense of um this is my space, and this is where I
Mm-hmm.
can think, and this is where I can concentrate, and
Yeah.
you know, I have my setup and I know where everything is. So it's not been too bad working from home for me, but I know like for extroverts and people that thrive off of other people, right? It's probably not as easy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very meticulously organized, so it's going to be the same whether I'm there or here, but
Yeah.
it just seems like for here it's I like it. I was ready to go. I am ready to get back to the swing of things and have the option. So like right now I work in the office 2 days out of the week,
Mm-hmm.
and then I work from here the rest of the time. So
I would love that option right about now.
yeah.
Oh Lord Jesus,
You
Miss.
like you seem like you're an extrovert and try and thrive off of talking to people. So
I am. I do because I love people. I love getting to know people. I love getting to know the way that people think, especially business minded people, because I'm just like, oh my gosh, I can take that. I can take that. I can take that. And it's just, it gets me going and
yeah.
it
And
excites
I
me.
like that part too. I guess people call me an ambivert because I can and I often have to be out in the public and doing all
Hmm.
that. But how I recharge, just leave me alone. Give me my space, and how I do my best thinking is in my alone time.
Yeah.
So
Say my best thinking is when I'm driving the bus, and as I'm driving, I get an idea because it's so quiet and there's nothing to do. So as
yeah.
I'm driving, I get an idea, and I try to, and I think, oh, I need to write that down. But then I'm like, dang, I can't do that because I'm
Right,
driving.
right. That's not because you driving, child. Don't you let go of that wheel. That wouldn't be good. Maybe sometimes you can. I don't know. I don't even know how you would do that.
Yeah, I just wait.
Had to pray that you don't forget it because
Right.
that would be me. I keep notepads around, and now that you can have phone, I'm a handwritten kind of person
Mm-hmm.
too. Like I handwrite everything. I handwrite
Yes.
cards. I handwrite, that kind of stuff. Not necessarily all in my phone, but sometimes you have to say a quick idea so you don't forget it.
Yes.
But,
Yeah, I have one keyword that I use when I'm driving, and then when I stop to get back to the transfer station, that's when I write it all down. But
yeah,
it
I didn't
works.
know you did that. I didn't know you drove the bus.
Yes. Oh yes. Um.
I know this is about me, but hey, we talking.
No, I was it's conversation. I don't necessarily like it too much because I love working in the office. Because I
Um,
had Future Choices for a year and I absolutely loved it. I love the office space. I love the people that I was working with.
right.
So it's so different going from having somebody to talk to all the time to not having anybody to talk to all the time, and then you got to talk to the passengers. And I'm like, I don't want to. Not today.
Yeah, and especially during this time, you just want to be like going to the
Exact 6 feet.
all the way back there and sit
Six
down.
feet. 6 feet.
Yeah,
But people don't know
yeah,
what 6 feet is these days. So I'm like,
right, right. Yeah, I
but
understand that. I didn't know you did that. When did you start doing that?
it's August last year.
Oh, okay.
Hmm. So it's approaching a year, and
Yeah, it's been a minute.
yeah, I'm trying to. It in the beginning, it was more challenging because of the fact that I've never done anything that big, and
Mhm.
so I'm like, oh my god, I'm interested, blah blah blah. Now I know it, and I'm like, what's next?
Right. Uh-huh. Yeah.
I'm like, now I'm bored.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you young, so you got time.
Yes, yes. Which the Lord has been working out some things in my life, so for that I am excited about, and I know that I won't be amidst for a long time.
Mm.
Because one of the guys that I work with, he told me that I am a good candidate to retire from it in 30 years. I say, hold up, you gotta be messed up because because I
We
did
gonna
not
we gonna edit
graduate.
this production.
Exactly.
We gonna
I'm,
edit this part.
I'm
But yeah,
like, I did not graduate from Ball State to this is the rest of my life,
mm,
so and the pay is great, but I'm like, that's not I've never
yeah,
been
it's not
into
your
something
passion,
because
not
of the
what you want
pay.
to do. Yeah,
Exactly.
it's
So
important to do what you're passionate about, because then it doesn't feel like work.
hmm.
I get up every day and I'm like, I don't feel like I'm working. I don't feel like
Yeah.
I'm stressed out. I don't feel that way. I'm like, oh well, I'm making somebody else's life better. I'm helping them to be able to complete school.
Yeah.
Doing things for others, and it makes me feel like that's not work.
Hmm.
So
So, have you had any communication with students, or will you have any communication with students once they come back?
I I do, if they request assistance or emergency aid, and then our office calls them to make sure to have conversation of how we can help, um, and getting whatever they need to them,
Hmm.
um, and but in general, my interaction will be with donors and
Okay.
constituents of the foundation, so that I mean, I'll be in the building where there will be some students,
Okay.
there and doing that. So I'll see them in passing. But generally speaking, unless um, they are scholarship recipients, which, comes from my office, and or, unless they're doing, see them in passing or
Hmm.
apply for aid of any kind over and above like their financial aid or whatever, um, I probably won't interact with them that much.
Okay. Okay.
Which it's fine because I still go to the Boys and Girls Club all the time and go back to the Bewley and
Hmm.
see the kids, and I live where I live at. Everybody knows us, and we sit
Hmm.
out on the porch. Hey, Miss Qiana, and I wave. So I still get my fix of
Yeah.
youth.
But I really, really, really want to say congratulations on receiving
Thank
your
you.
master's degree from Indiana Wesleyan.
Thank
What was your master's in?
My master's is in organizational leadership, and so I focused on nonprofit leadership. Basically, what I do.
Mm-hmm.
It was the easiest major to encap, not the easiest because it wasn't easy, but it encapsulated what it is that I already do and what I already loved. So
Mm-hmm.
it made the coursework much better to get through. It wasn't easy, but when you're researching or studying something that you enjoy or that you already currently are doing, it makes things much more smooth,
Yeah.
and it makes it easy paper to write. Now that
Yes.
part, I
Yes.
will say, you can draw from your many experiences to get through it.
Yes. So, were you taking online classes?
hmm I
Okay.
did all of my classes. I did kind of a hybrid at the beginning, so I would be on campus a little bit, and then um, at home online or
Mm-hmm.
whatever, and then but most of it was online, and then especially through the quarantine, is trying to get that was my last final class was when it
Mm-hmm.
was getting started, and I'm like, ugh. Um, I don't know how people with little kids can do it because I was
Mm-hmm.
like, oh my goodness, if I had to do homeschool and do work from home and do
Yes.
and go to school, no. But because just working from home and then finishing up assignments and papers and all that, it was difficult, but I'm glad I'm done. That's all I will
Yeah.
say.
Yeah.
I'm so glad I'm done.
That's good.
So it's been about two. I I would have graduated. Well, if we had the ceremony, I would have walked on April the 24th
Mm-hmm.
or 25th, one of those days, 24th or 25th. They did move my ceremony to August 22nd, but I'm not sure if I'm going to go or not. I'm like,
Why?
I'm already got my paper now. That's I'm like, shoot.
I think it'd be like that after undergrad because undergrad you're so excited to walk across the
Yeah.
stage, and then after that it's just like,
Yeah, and I mean, I wanted to, and I originally, we had plans and all that, and but now, It's like,
you working. So are you gonna have a party?
we were gonna do that too, after the ceremony in April, but it's kind of lackluster now. It's like,
Yeah.
oh well, she graduated 6 months ago. Party.
Hey, we
I
celebrate all the time.
probably not. I mean, I might have a little get together or something if I decide to do the ceremony in August. Um, after it's over or whatever. But I ain't trying to be around too many people anyway. We y'all go bring y'all masks.
Right,
We can
right.
have part. No, we could probably have one on my deck. I might now. I gotta do deck, so
That'd be
we
fun.
we might.
You just have a small group of people. You don't need a lot of
Yeah,
people.
yeah, yeah. We might.
Also, your dad received his graduate at the same time you received your master's. And
Yes,
congratulations to him.
he got his doctorate from Duke University. He is awesome. He's like one of my main, if not the main, inspiration for me.
Mm-hmm.
Um, my dad and I are really close, and
Yeah.
so we're a lot alike. But we are extremely close, and so I planned something for him because we all were gonna go to the campus
Mm-hmm.
there in I think it's in Durham or Chapel Hill, one of them Carolinas, North
Yeah.
Carolina somewhere, and go to a ceremony. We had gotten an Airbnb for our immediate family, my brother, my grandparents, and all of us were going to
Mm-hmm.
go down and spend the weekend and cheer him on and all that. And dang on Corona came and canceled all that. And so I'm not even sure if that they're good. He hasn't said that they didn't even reschedule, I don't think. But
Mm-hmm.
um I ended up throwing him a surprise parking lot party a few weeks back, and so he was completely surprised by that. And our church members and everybody got to honor him. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, everybody keeps asking me, "Am I going to get my doctorate?" I'm like, "Hold on,
You just get through that part.
I need a minute. I need a minute because that will be 3 generations of doctors on one side, and my mom's mom has her doctorate
Yeah.
degree as well. But my dad's dad, and then my dad, and then me, if I chose to get it, would be an awesome
Yeah.
thing. But I, mm, I don't. I'm not ready.
Yes. Yes.
Maybe I do it by the time I'm 50, if maybe.
Yeah. But I just think that
And
it's always like
that's
that
not nowhere
though.
close, by the way, y'all people watching.
Right.
I'm not
Right. We still
I'm not
young.
50 yet. I'm not, no, but no. So I don't know.
Yeah. I understand that. But people always ask, once you finish one thing, when you gonna get the next? And I'm just like,
Yeah,
wait a minute, my brain's still processing
yeah,
being through this.
yeah. I'm not I'm not there yet. But I will say, working in higher education, working at Ivy Tech and seeing all the numbers of people, the staff members and all the faculty and everybody, it does make you kind of think about that.
Yeah.
But not yet. Not yet.
Take your time. It is on your time because you got to do all those papers and do
Yeah,
all of their work.
yeah. A lot of reading, and I just really need to, my dad would have to read big old thick books in a week. I'm like, and I love reading, but
Mm-hmm.
reading what I want to read versus
What you have to.
whole textbooks and all that.
Yes.
No, I'm cool. I'm cool on it for right now. I'm cool on it for right now.
Yes. I love your nails, by the way. I saw the
Oh, thank
diamond and those are
you.
cute. I kept
Thanks.
looking at it while you waving it like that.
Oh, shameless plug, Geisha. that's my girl. She's
Yes, I
that's
love Geisha.
yes, and that this is one thing that I was waiting for him to open because child, I
Mm-hmm.
tried to do it myself. I got my little gel kit and all that I've had for some years, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, let me see.
No. Look,
Long.
I bought some. I'm gonna show you. But there was one point when I really tried to do nails, and I bought some
Girl, you
tips.
trying to do the whole thing.
It didn't work out. Like this is still full.
You might have to put them on Facebook and market.
Yes, because
The
I probably
Irish
only use
Bell.
one out of each thing. I feel you.
Yeah, no, I had to. I can't. I don't do. I did enough. I did it well enough to, work from home where
Mm-hmm.
nobody,
Yeah.
nobody's seeing me. But I talk with my hands a lot too, and so even on Zoom and all that, and I'm like
Mm-hmm. Yes.
my little chip nails.
I
So
wouldn't even show
that's one
mine.
thing I am glad that they open, and she does everything safe all the anyway. But
Yeah.
I do enjoy that part of my life.
What are some future plans? It could be personal or anything in your career that you have right now. Future plans.
Um, I'm just a kind of live in the moment kind of girl.
Mm,
I know it's you do need to play. You do need to plan. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail.
yeah, I love that.
So you do need a plan, but it doesn't have to be so rigid that you can't move and flow with what happens. You know,
Yeah.
I don't have any immediate plans as far as professional goes. I have some business ideas that I'm going to be doing here in the future. A couple things with some family members that
Mm-hmm.
will be working on and that we are working on. And I'm really trying to get my YouTube channel off the ground, child. I didn't do well with it, but that I am going to start it. You have to
Yes.
start. You have to do it afraid, and I tell
Yes.
myself that all the time.
Yes.
I want to. I'm a perfectionist by nature, and I want everything to be so and lined up, and you know
Yes.
that's the planning part of
Yes.
me. But at the same time, I know I need to just let it flow free. But I still want to help people. So some of the content that I want to do is um, just helping people know and understand business, understand
Mm-hmm.
nonprofit. So I'll be doing, um, you know, some talking about how to get grants. People all the time, hey, can you write me a grant? Well,
That's a lot of work.
it's a lot of work, but at the same time, there are certain parameters. You have to have A, B, C, D. You have to
Mm-hmm.
have a lot of things in place before you can just say, hey, can you write me a grant? Well,
Yes.
no, I can't. Or, have you considered these steps? So just kind of helping people um, do some things. I love interior design and
Mm-hmm.
decorating and all of that kind of stuff. So it'll be some of that on there. And
Yes.
so I'm just living life. Dwayne and I, we are kids. We empty nesters. Our kids are
Yes.
grown,
Yes.
grown, and no kind people. We are not having any more. So for all of you, this is a public service announcement. Dwayne and Qiana Clemens will not be having any biological children
Yes.
of our own.
Yes.
Thank you.
Y'all finally got an empty house.
Yeah, we do what we want. We can travel. We don't have to, it's I'm enjoying life. I haven't been married that long. It'll be 4 years October.
Oh, okay.
And so we just living, you know,
Yeah.
doing what we do. The quarantine has because we both work for Ivy Tech, and so
Right.
it's interesting. He'll be on a call in there, and I'll be on a call in here, and then we go back and forth. He'll come in. I'm like, "What are you talking about? What are you talking about?" Um, and but yeah, no kids, and so we love to travel
Mhm.
when the Rona's over.
Yes.
We'll get back to some of that and church and just living easy
It's
and
good.
thanking God for the ability and the talents that He's given me to be able to um, work in a field that I so love and so
Mhm.
enjoy, and
Mhm.
then making money in order for me to live how I want to live and do what I
Yeah.
want to do. So
Yeah. That's
it's
good.
it's a blessing.
That is. I love that so much. I love that picture behind you, by the way. I keep
Oh,
looking back
thank
there.
you.
It just looks
Great.
into your soul like
I know. Ain't she cute? That's my motivation. I'll be like, can I look like her so I can look in
Yes.
somebody's soul? But
Yes.
no, I was like, somebody was like, is that a porch? Did somebody paint that of you? I'm like, do I look like that?
It
I
looks
wish I
good.
did. I paint my war paint face and
Yes.
all that every day if I look like that. But yeah,
Yes.
she's uh just a I like the picture,
Mm-hmm.
and so I got it and put it up there.
So yes, I am super excited for this YouTube channel that's coming, by the way, because I will be definitely watching everything. Um, but I just want to thank you so much for being here with me today. And this is the end of the show. But again, thank you so much for being with me and being so gracious enough to do this a second time. So thank you so much.
You're
Um,
welcome.
I really, really wanted to highlight in this episode the passion that you have for your work and the passion that you put into your work, because it shows a difference to where you're not working to survive, you're working because that's what you love doing. And I really, really wanted to highlight that and just kind of show others that you don't have to do something just because this is what you have to do. I mean, it could be a stepping stone, but just going for what you're passionate about and working hard enough to get there
Yeah.
is great.
And it's okay if you don't know what that passion is yet. Just start something.
Yes.
You know, I had no idea that I would be doing this. And if you would ask me that I would be a fundraiser for a living, I'd been like, child, please. But or if you'd asked me uh, even 2 years ago what I would be doing, it's okay. Passions evolve and things evolve in your life to where you can make your best life. Make it
Yes.
what you want.
So thank you so much,
You're
Qiana.
welcome.